What is a not fun fact? When you get a sunburn, it's actually your cells dying so they don't get tumorous. The reason you're supposed to contact a doctor if you have an erection lasting longer than 4 hours is because prolonged priapism can lead to gangrene of the dick. Blood goes in, deoxygenates, but can't leave. So there's no way for fresh oxygenated blood to come in, causing the tissue to turn black and die. Don't worry, though. This can be treated by using a big syringe to suck the trapped blood out. Horses can't throw up. So if they eat something bad or get a bad gas bubble, they just lay down and die. In the United States, roughly 1/3 of all food is thrown away each year. There are 8 unaccounted for American nukes and literally an unknown quantity of missing Soviet nukes that range all the way from warheads to suitcase bombs. Valentine's Day is a holiday with one of the highest suicide rates. People who commit suicide by jumping off a bridge. Those who don't die from the impact drown because the impact breaks enough bones that prevents them from swimming. The FBI estimates there are between 25 to 50 active serial killers in the US at any given time. There is a mysterious illness called the sweating sickness that hit in multiple small epidemics in the early modern era. It was incredibly contagious and massively deadly, with about a 50% average death rate. But it could be higher. It began with an ominous sense of apprehension, followed by severe pains in the neck and giddiness. They then abruptly stopped and switched to heavy sweating, headaches and delirium. Finally, the person was hit with an extreme urge to sleep, and it was thought to be fatal if you fell to it. We know almost nothing about it. Nothing about how it spread, how it was caused. Only that if you got it you were either surviving or dead within 24 hours. There are horror stories of people leaving town on hunting trips and returning the same day to find almost everybody in the village dead, with only a few scattered survivors. The worst thing was, you did not gain immunity. You could live through the sweating sickness once, and then get it a few days later and die. Or live through it 2 or 3 times, and then get it and die. It was horrific. And we don't know why it disappeared, and we don't know if it will ever return. Undefined. If you eat a polar bear liver, you will die. Humans can't handle that much vitamin A. The lemmings are not suicidal. In the documentary What Filmed It was actually showing lemmings getting thrown down a cliff because they needed the scene but couldn't make the animals do it. There is a genetic disease called FOP where your muscles and tissue turn to bone. Often called human statue disease. Eventually people may have to decide whether they want to become frozen in a sitting or flat/standing position. I have a good friend with this. He's already past the usual life expectancy for the condition and still manages to live a somewhat normal life. He has to have his second spine broken every year now. Which doesn't sound nice. Also, any injury heals as bone for him. So as he gets older he's covered in more and more lumps from the various shenanigans we've got up to over the years. Spelling. People with extreme scurvy start to have all of their old wounds open up. Everything with a scar is held together via an active process with collagen and without vitamin C just sort. Urine was used for teeth whitening and bleaching of clothes in ancient Rome. Yes. They rinsed their mouth with human and animal urine. You can smell your own lungs. Your brain just filters out the smell. Some perfumes, or more specifically, musks you use come from the anal and secretion glands of musk deers and civet cats. A blue-ringed octopus, found in the Pacific, is a tiny and cute little guy. But one painless bite gives enough venom to kill 25 male adults undefined. These live everywhere on the coast where I live. I remember it being drilled into us really young not to stick our hand under rocks or into rock pools on the shore. Because once you realized something had happened it would be too late. Australia. I live in Australia. Penguins rape the hell out of anything that looks vaguely penguin-like or doesn't move. In fact, it was so rampant that the 1910-13 Scott Antarctic expedition decided it was best not to bring it up so society wouldn't have to deal with the issue it would bring up. Scientists witnessed males having sex with other males and also with dead females, including several that had died the previous year. He also saw them sexually coerce females and chicks and occasionally kill them. The scientists blamed this astonishing depravity on hooligan males and wrote down his observations in Greek so that only an educated gentleman would understand the horrors he had witnessed. Cute. Fuzzy little sea otters are known to rape baby seals to death. The search and rescue dogs on September 11th were getting so sad from finding only dead bodies. The human helpers buried themselves in the rubble so that the dogs could find them and be happy. In Australia there is a plant called the gimpy gimpy which has such a severe sting that horses who brush against it throw themselves off cliffs because they'd rather die than continue to experience the pain. Migraines and strokes carry a lot of the same symptoms, so if you suffer regular migraines, you may not notice you're actually dying one day. Bed bugs procreate by traumatic insemination. Males literally stab females with their genitals. So, just another reason to hate them then. Rabies is terrifying. You can get it and not even know it from bats, which live across the globe. It might hit you right away. It might be in 3 years. But it doesn't matter because once symptoms set in, you're already dead. If a hamster gets too stressed, it will eat its kids. The number one cause of death among pregnant women is murder. Male dolphins like to hunt fertile female in groups and hound them because they are unwilling. The females are often injured during this. Some even die. A man once had a tapeworm get cancer. That cancer metastasized, and the man died from tumors of tapeworm throughout his entire body. It was once thought for birds, parrots, magpies to learn to talk, you had to release their tongue. This was done by cutting their tongue completely or partly off. Of course, without any anesthesia or painkillers. The tongue release plays absolutely no role in the bird's ability to talk.